to like a minute. I like to wait for a minute to people. But today we finna get into Amanda Seals. I got stuff written down because I got some stuff I feel like I need to express. So I'm gonna wait till a minute and then I'm gonna get started. Well, I hope y'all having a good Friday. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure y'all have them notifications on. I come here every Friday. Every Friday, I'm gonna talk about something. Sometimes it might be multiple topics. When it's an interview like this, I feel like I'm gonna just do this just interview. But other than that, just come on in, give your opinion. Just be respectful. You feel me? But other than that, I want to hear your opinion. Let me see. Okay, it's getting to 59. So the first thing I want to talk about, um, when it came to the interview, I felt like he was questioning her experience. And when I look at past interviews, I didn't get that same interview except for one person, which he actually mentioned. We're gonna talk about that a little later. Um, I felt it like it was more of a debate than an interview. And normally he don't get that. Normally it's fun, it's entertaining, he's just listening. But with her, I feel like he gave her a different interview style. That's just me. And the example I'm gonna bring up is when she said she felt like she had a racial experience working at a child acting job. And he was like, well, kids will just be kids. But she's telling you that they call her the N-word. She's telling you the experiences that she's having, and instead of just listening to understand her experience, he was listening to respond and be like, no, no, I don't think that. I feel like you just feel attacked. I feel like you just wasn't. But it's like that's how she felt in the moment. That's how I thought interviews went. But to me, it felt like a debate. And then when it came to the type of research that he did for this interview, normally he do real good research from the responses that I see from other people that's been on his couch. But when it came to her, it was different. He's like, well, you also have a white mom. And she's like, no, I don't have a white mom. Why do people keep saying that? I don't have a white mom. My mom is from an African island. And that's where she was born and raised. And then when she mentioned that she got fired, he was like, oh, of course, having that preconceived notion of that she's difficult, she's hard to work with. He's like, oh, of course. She's like, what do you mean, of course? I only got fired from one job. That was weird, right? Watching that in the audience. Because normally the questions just flow, they answer it, they drinking, doing double shots, 1, 2. But when it came to this, it was a little different. You could tell the energy was off because he felt like he had preconceived notions of her. To me, he listened to some of the rumors that he heard and then he went at her instead of really doing real research that he's done with interviews in the past, which I thought were really good. But when it came to her, this interview style, I don't know who he talked to, what happened before, but to me, it was completely different. It wasn't like everybody else. Let me see what else I got on here. When she mentioned she had a master's in it, right? Again, when an expert comes on your couch and they say something they have expertise in, you listen and you digest. Then you take that information and you go do your own research to verify what's said. You don't debate without even really knowing, you know, based on the extensive research she's done. But it was a little different. It was a more of a debate. It wasn't an interview style, and I don't know if they worked in the past. I don't know what the energy was, but the energy to me was just completely off. Let me see. 'Cause I got a little list. Um, Now, as I'm defending her, I have to be honest, right? When it came to the autism, that confused me, right? Because when she was on the couch and he asked her, were you ever diagnosed with autism? She said yes. But then a day or two later, she says that she wasn't clinically diagnosed. So it's like, which one was it? Hey from India. But it's like, which one was it? I'm not finna bypass that because that's a problem. Because what was the point of you saying that? Because as I'm defending her, I have to be real with the conversation as well. You know what I'm saying? I agree that he was misunderstanding her, but at the same time, you also lied about the whole autism thing because he asked you a direct question and you had a direct answer. So if we're gonna be all around all across the board, we got to be honest all the way across the board. The topic is about the Amanda Seals and Shannon Sharpe interview. And another problem that I had that was a huge, hold on, let me check these. Another problem that I had with him was the comment of, well, as a black woman, you have to work twice as hard. So wouldn't it be easier? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? It's like saying you knew it was hard, so what you complaining for? Because it's still hard. You still gotta do that. So that was like a whole insult. It's like again, he wasn't listening to understand. It was just to have a response. You shouldn't complain. You should be good. You got a heads up that it was gonna be harder. So what you complaining? Complaining about. That's insane. But we gonna move on. Again, going along with the whole him misunderstanding her, when it came to her saying that she's seen a psychic, now me personally, I don't believe in a psychic, but I'm not going to diminish somebody else's experience. So she said she's seen a psychic and she felt like this was what she was supposed to do. He immediately, you believe in psychic? Why would you do that? But when it came to Tabitha Brown, which I love so much, when it came to Tabitha Brown, she said she had like a dream or epiphany, allegedly. Don't know exactly what she said, but she had something like that. And she said she was supposed to do that. He was like, "Oh, okay. Thank you for the like. Make sure y'all share. Make sure y'all had them notifications on." He's like, "Oh, okay." He was just accepting. He was just like, "Okay, cool." He didn't question Tabitha. He didn't question none of the stuff he said. Hey, tea time to. He didn't question any of that. So it's like, wow. What's the difference? The difference in treatment I seen tremendously, okay? And then he didn't even admit to it until the end when it came to the yes and no question. So pretty much her job asked her a list of questions. She was supposed to answer yes or no. She literally answered the questions yes or no. Their response to her was, well, looking at the answers, you don't seem that enthusiastic about it. So we're not going to get you the job. Shannon Sharpe's like, well, you answered yes or no. So why would I, not seem so enthusiastic? He said, oh, he wanted you to perform. He wanted you. And that's when she started doing the whole little tap dance thing. He wanted her to perform. It seemed like he got that part. Because he got some experience in it. But he didn't get the other part. Right. So the interview ends, right? And the next day is here. And he has another show, a podcast with oh, what's the name? I'm blanking out, but it's two other people. And hold on, y'all. Okay, so it's two other people, right? And so it's him. He's on the side, two other people next to him, and they was discussing the interview, and he was like, I feel like she's always on the defense mode. I feel like somebody's always, out there to she's in defense mode because she feel like somebody's always there to attack her. My thing is that's a lazy comeback when she's had 12 examples on how she's been attacked. So it's like instead of just having that understanding of why, what I'm saying, she might feel that way. They take it more as a, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? They're just not understanding that perspective. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Make sure y'all like, make sure y'all share, make sure y'all have notifications on. I come here every Friday, y'all, every Friday. But also, what I found funny about him is that when it came to his example of why he did the interview in the form he did the interview, he brought up Monique. Another woman that speaks for herself, another woman who has receipts, another woman that feels comfortable, in what she's saying. I found that interesting, right? Because when it came to Cat Williams, and Cat Williams asked him, why didn't you check those men? Why didn't you, check and see if the facts was blah, blah, blah? He said, because it's their experience. I can't tell them if it's wrong or not. I don't know. So do that only apply to men? Because when it came to Amanda Seals and she told you your experience, you had every defense in the world. But when it came to another man and Cat Williams called you on it, he said, well, I can't. He tried to back out of it. So I'm just wondering, is that just for men? That was a little confusing. Just a little confusing for me. Because I feel like everybody should get that treatment. When you do an interview, you shouldn't be going back and forth. You should just listen, ask question, and dive more into what they're saying. Pull things out, get more in depth into it. You shouldn't be saying, well, I don't know about that. Huh? Is the interview about me or you? What are we talking about? Again, he had preconceived notions. Instead of just getting to know her as, through that interview, he already knew how he felt about her. And he was willing to get those type of answers out, but she wasn't going that way. She was actually giving him a real thought out answer. But he was trying to say, like, oh, she's blind and she can't see. No, she was very intelligent in how she felt. She expressed herself very well, you know. But when it came to the whole autism, I'm going to be very honest, that is wrong because she did backtrack on what she said when it came to that portion of it. When they asked her, actually, let me play it. Because, like I said, I'm fair. I like to be fair. I like to be honest. I can agree on some things and disagree on others. So, I'm going to play the interview first, and then I'm going to play her backtracking after.
So, let me ask you this. How old were you when you got diagnosed, and did you always feel
like
that
share.
you was different and you felt something was wrong? Well, what's today? Today is Thursday, the 18th. So 42 and however many days until I was just recently diagnosed. Okay. And this came out of this situation because so many Black women who are autistic said to me, I see you. You need to, and I've always thought, if you can look at other interviews, I have mentioned.
Point is, she said that. This was after it, right?
They cut out at the end, he was asking, no, I have not been clinically diagnosed by a doctor because I'm not paying $10,000 to do that.
So what you mean? If I'm going to defend you on the other, I got to be real with you on the other side as well. What do you mean? That's two opposite things, or am I missing it? Amanda, it'd be so hard to defend people sometimes. That's crazy, but yeah. I just come on here and do my little spiel. I appreciate everybody, listening to the little point of view. When this come out into video form, make sure you like, you share, put your little comment in, and yeah, that's all I got. I just wanted to talk about Amanda Seals. Normally I talk about multiple topics, but with this, I wanted to really dive in on this. So again, thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all have your notifications on. I come on every Friday, y'all. Every Friday, and I just let it loose. I have my little notes, and we just get to it, okay? And I appreciate y'all for watching.